Good afternoon, cbr500riders.com readers. What you have here is my 2014 Honda cbr500r with a danmoto titanium GP exhaust with the DB killer installed. I'll crank it up here and run it up to about 5,000 RPM so you can hear how it sounds. Then I'll cut the video and reinstall the stock so you can hear it stock, and then I'll put the danmoto back on without the DB killer, and you can hear all three. So here goes the GP titanium with DB killer in, so you can hear how it sounds. As you can hear, it's a little deeper and throatier sounding than the stock exhaust, and looks really good. So that's it for this segment of the video. I'll come back in when I got the stock exhaust reinstalled and let you hear it. Okay, I'm back with my cbr500r 2014 model with the GP titanium exhaust reinstalled, except I took the DB killer out. If you want to know what the DB killer looks like this right here. It's a stainless steel piece of tubing, has a baffle inside, and you install it in the mid pipe end here going up into the exhaust. To me, it looks really constraining looking at the DB killer. I'm thinking about modifying it and drilling a hole probably about 3/4 of an inch in diameter in the end of the DB killer to get a little more flow in the exhaust. To me, it looks like it's really restricting it, and that's probably why it sounds as quiet as the stock one to me, just a little throatier. I'd really like it to be just a little bit louder. So I may try that modification. The DB killer only cost me what, $8 I think, plus shipping to get it here. I think you can get them on eBay for $20 free shipping from the danmoto USA site. Okay, I'm gonna crank it up, run it up to about 7,000 RPMs, and you will hear a difference. Here we go. It's definitely louder than stock, definitely louder than the DB killer. Sounds very similar to the exhaust with the DB killer in, except you can hear it's a little deeper, got a little more growl to it. One thing you didn't hear on this video that you will hear when you're riding the bike is after the engine's good and warm and you're decelerating, you'll hear a little more popping and, not really backfiring, but popping and crackling on deceleration. You don't hear it hardly at all. I don't think I've ever heard it with the stock exhaust. I hear it some with the DB killer in. It's not really loud, but I remember last time I rode it with the DB killer out, it's noticeable. To me, it reminds me of my 4-stroke motocross bikes that I rode several years ago. That you'd put even the stock exhaust on those would have a lot of popping and crackling. And if you had the air fuel mixture screw set for optimal performance, you'll get that. So sounds like the fuel injected carburetor is doing its job to make sure it's got the fuel air ratio just right. That one of the difference I can tell just in turning the throttle with the stock exhaust, cranking the exhaust, it would not really struggle, but it was taking its time to get up to 7,000 RPMs, where with the DB killer out, it shoots up to about 8,000, right, just with the bleep of the throttle there. With the DB killer in, it would go up to about 7,500 with the bleep of the throttle. So it's definitely more flow with this exhaust than the stock, and which should give you better acceleration, is the way I look at it, or smoother acceleration anyway. As far as speed goes, 5,000 RPMs, any three of the configurations is still 62 miles an hour on the bike. That's a function of the drivetrain and the revolutions per minute on the engine. So you won't get any performance there without changing the gearing of some kind. But if you don't want a snappier response on the throttle and maybe a easier acceleration up to those RPMs, this exhaust will do it. Things I noticed about this exhaust, I ran it on a 80-mile round trip a couple of days ago, and I can tell that the header pipe, or the mid pipe, not the header pipe, the mid pipe it's turned color a little bit. It's got a little patina to it now. It was bright silver stainless, or bright stainless steel look, and you may not be able to tell on this video, but it does have a little tarnished look to it now. It doesn't look bad to me. It looks really good. I love the exhaust. I like it with and without the DB killer. So for $125 plus shipping, whatever it was, from danmoto, it's it's worth the money. Now long term, I don't know how it's going to hold up. We'll find out. But hey, I don't have over $200 in the exhaust altogether with the DB killer and shipping and everything. So that's I think it's a good investment. I'll leave that up to you though. That's all for the videos. Thanks for watching. Hope it helps you. Give me some feedback if you think my modification to the DB killer would be a good idea or not. I'm not a motorcycle mechanic, not a mechanical engineer, so I don't really know. But to me, it makes sense. Open it up a little bit. It would still have back pressure, which would quieten it down still, but it would definitely improve the flow. So give me your thoughts. Thanks for watching. Okay, here I am back with the stock exhaust reinstalled. That took me all of about 2 minutes to uninstall the danmoto titanium GP and reinstall the stock exhaust. So here we go. I'm going to crank it up, run it up to about, I said 5,000 RPMs on the first video, but I run it up to about 7,000 so you could hear it. I'll do the same on this one. Okay, here we go. And there she goes. Not quite as deep as the danmoto, but as far as dB levels, I don't detect, with my ear, much difference in them. The danmoto is just a little deeper and throatier sounding. I like the way both exhausts look, but I like the way the danmoto with the DB killer sounds better. So Now I'm going to take a little time and take the DB killer out of the danmoto exhaust, and I'll reinstall it without it so you can hear the difference. I'll be back in a minute.